is there any update? I know it's still a hot button topic in the town of Coburg, the encampment, and that it's still on the Ontario grounds. Any update that you can provide viewers at all?
Yeah, the only update I would have is that at the Rural Ontario Municipal Association, I joined the town of Coburg for a delegation with Ministry of Infrastructure, just on the future of the site. Minister of Infrastructure recently wrote to us that this property will be going to the open market, and will be listed. It was supposed to be end of January. Unfortunately, sometimes, as is the case, no surprise for those watching with government, it will be in February, and so that will be listed on the open market. And I just went with them just on the conditions of that sale. Town of Coburg wanted to make sure that those things that they'd done with their consultation, and that the mayor and the town and CAO were hearing, and the things that I was hearing with respect to some of the assets on the site were reflected in that. And so I know, when it comes to education and potentially a post-secondary footprint, that we want to see, the mayor and I and council want to see an opportunity for any future buyer to work with a post-secondary partner on the site, and that's important for us. And I think in our community of Northumberland, I've always from day one said that I really want to, in my time in office, expand a post-secondary footprint. So I also just met with Mark Kirkpatrick, CEO of Loyalist. Of course, they have their campus in Port Hope. They have some students there already, and will be officially opening the new building in the fall. So that's something akin to what we'd like to see, at least on part of the Brookside site. And I know, housing and potential some training opportunities there are something both the mayor, council, and I would like to see.
With it going up for sale, and you say publicly, David, will the town of Coburg or the Northumberland County get first dibs on the property? Because I know with school boards, when they put schools on, they always go to the municipalities first to see if it's them before it goes to public. Or will this just be going right out for anybody to purchase?
Well, that's part of the reason for those wondering why it hasn't sold faster, that's part of the reason for the delay, is that they did have the first right, but we didn't receive a formal offer, in a serious informal offer for the property. It's not to say, I mean, we've been communicating the whole time, but we've made the decision. I mean, we're on a timeline to take a step back for those watching. Premier Ford and our government made a commitment to sell assets that the province had that were underutilized, and that helps tackle our debt and deficit. I still do think that balanced budgets and tackling our debt matter. And so that's important for us. And we chose to look at our footprint across Ontario, to look at land that may be better suitable for either community needs or for housing as well. And so that was a targeted decision we made across Ontario, with now I think it's over 10% of the province's footprint. And we've challenged municipalities to do the same thing. Right of way, I think, to Lakeland Place, where the Canadian Tire used to be, in Port Hope. I mean, that thing's been sitting there empty for a decade. And I think to the tannery lands, I know Coburg's been working on that. That's been, we can do so much more there too. So it's good that we're all trying to better utilize these places for our community, so that our people can enjoy and benefit from it. So that's already happened, and of course, Coburg still has the planning process to support and to work with any future proponent. So all of that stuff applies. Zoning, planning, all of that still applies.